Today we're talking about that terminology for our basic body positions. These can take some time to remember and to understand. I'm going to start with the three basic ones that we actually practice when we do our tendus, our dégagés, and in the sequence that I teach, it also is how we practice our rondejambs. We have à la quatrième devant, à la seconde, and à la quatrième derrière. So to break down what this means, à la quatrième is to the fourth position. Devant and derrière tell us if we're going to the front or to the back. Devant is always going to the front, derrière is going to the back. Think of like behind your derrière. It's a good trick to help remember that term. A la seconde is simply to the second. When you're doing any of these three body positions, if you equate it to what you know fourth position at this point. If you do the body position, you should be able to put your foot flat on the ground and be in fourth position. You can put your foot flat on the ground when you're at that side and be in second position. Now we're going to start talking about some of the more challenging terms, and that would be our quasi, E.P.I.C, E.P.I.C, and écarté. So when we translate them, we understand a little bit better usually why they're just called these names. Quasi means crossed. When we're in that position, you are crossed from your audience. When we are doing E.P.I.C, you are now shaded. You're shading your face. I actually teach that when we are even in our pre-dance class and I teach our third position arms. I help them remember what third position is by reminding us to shade our face. E.P.I.C, it does have two different spelling options. You could have an extra E on there. Again, that goes into logistics of which one's which. As to whether or not it's Italian or French for the word that you're using. Épaulé means shouldered. This one is very reflective because it's the basis of our arabesques, so you'll feel a little bit more at home with that one for those who have been practicing your arabesques. Écarté is separated or thrown wide apart. It is similar to our à la seconde position. However, all of these are now where we take that understanding of our personal square and use those angles. Now you are using your personal square angle that we talked about on Monday to implement the rest of your body positions. That's why that's so important. You need to be able to understand how to bring that and cross train with it and use that in other parts of your dance. That's where these basic body positions come in and all that stuff. Now, each of these can be done devant or derrière. So they can be done to the front and to the back. Now again, we learn more of this when we're physically doing this in class. So this is just to give us a better understanding once over. But we always want our dancers to understand that there's a little bit more to these things than what just meets the eye. I've kind of given us two different shades of blue here so we could kind of understand a little bit better what's happening. Italian method, or the Italian school of ballet, only uses certain terms. They use à la quatrième devant, à la seconde, à la quatrième derrière. They use quasi, devant, and derrière. And then they only use the term E.P.I.C, E.P.I.C, and écarté. There is no devant or derrière attachment to that. When we're talking in the French and Russian method, or schools of ballet, now we get those extra detailed terms. And you'll find other nuances as you study more of each of the different schools, what little nuances they are looking for in how you carry your body and what you can and cannot do with your arms. Reason yesterday I was not pushing too hard for retention of that. You want to know that you're using your fourth and your second positions throughout each of these body positions, and you're using your personal square to angle appropriately. Arms play another little bit of a factor, but there are certain arms that are staples, other arms that you may find a little bit more adjusted. All this comes down to the different school, what you're training for, and what you can and cannot do. So, I hope this helps, and I will see you tomorrow.